What is going on, everybody? Brent Abel here, goldballhunting.com. That dude over there, the great Jacklich, L-I-C-H, Lich.
Yep.
Good old Italian name, apparently.
Austrian name, Italian blood.
There you go. There you go.
Boom.
No wonder he can do the scissor kick overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all there.
Anyway, guys, another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast. We're going to talk about skill level range today, and we're going to give you an idea how you can reduce yours. And so this is going to be an episode that you're going to want to listen to all the way to the end. So the big question is this: how are tennis players like us who never played in the tour, weren't incredible juniors, or maybe got a late start to the game, how do we consistently compete at our highest skill level without having to grind through endless hours of on-court practice time and still be in the hunt for victory match after match? That is the question, and Gold Ball Hunting gives you the answers by helping you eliminate your skill level range so that you build a strong foundation of confidence. My name is Brent Abel, and along with my biz partner, Jeff Jacklich, welcome to Gold Ball Hunting. All right, Jeffrey, what is going on there, dude? Another day in the state of California.
Yeah. I think today, actually, because this is going to come out Thursday maybe Friday. I don't know.
Today is, let's see, what is today?
Yeah, me too. Today is, yeah. Today's actually Wednesday. We're recording this, but I think this is coming out Friday. And I think tomorrow, Thursday.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yes.
It's actually going to be a non-rainy day, but kind of spotty, cloudy, blah, blah, blah. But then Friday, I think late Thursday evening, Friday morning, 80%, 90% chance of rain. Saturday, another 80, 90% chance of rain. So there you have it. That's how it's going here in Moraga.
Jeff's actually living in the future. It's Wednesday as we record this.
Yes.
But he's talking, but you're listening to it on Friday. This is weird, man.
The whole time-space continuum, quantum physics, quantum reality, quantum entanglement. Don't get me started.
Quantum entanglement sounds like my topspin forehand.
Yeah.
Guys,
you don't want quantum entanglement. As we get into skill level range, you don't want quantum entanglement because that can really mess you up with this deal.
That's scary. Think about just stopping the episode right now because I'm starting to get a little on the heebie-jeebie side. Heebie-jeebie. So guys, listen, we want to talk about skill level range today, and that's kind of where we started. The whole foundation of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast, 320, today's number 327, episode 327, days in a row. And skill level range by definition is one day we go out and we play pretty well. You know, we play kind of the top of our skill level, right? Which if you're a 4-0 player, you're playing the top of that skill level range of the 4-0, and the next day you go out and not quite so high in that skill level range, maybe down to a 3-7, right? That's pretty significant difference, 4-0 to 3-7.
Yeah.
And so how do we reduce that to where the 3-7s just stop happening? And you're consistently playing at 4-0 or 3-9 so that you really actually build some confidence in your ability to go out there every day and know how you're going to play. Which, if you're playing against an unknown opponent, whether it's singles or doubles, you now kind of know confidently what you can do, and you can start to actually, I'd like to say the word dissect, but you can start to analyze this opponent. It might take you 3 or 4 games.
Right.
Those are 3 or 4 games in doubles to kind of figure these guys out and know that you're not worried about, God, I hope I don't play like crap today. Because I played like crap a couple of days ago, and that was right after a day I had played pretty well. And so you're just on this thing where you don't know how you're going to play. And that really gets in the way from problem solving, especially against new opponents. So I think the biggest, and correct me if I'm wrong, which I know you will.
Oh, you can count on it.
I know. And guys, let me off camera. I'm never right. I'm never right. It's always, what? Are you kidding me? You actually think that? All right, okie doke. Let's go ahead and do an episode on that, Brent. That sounds great. So, but in terms of reducing that skill level range, I think the easiest way to do that, Jeff, is to stop thinking about improving technique. Stop thinking about, well, try to really have something unique in terms of tactics and strategy. And really kind of go to the last pillar, which is experiences. And that means every week, play a match that counts, right? It's going to be a practice match. I think too often what we see are players who go out there and they play a lot of tennis, but they have, maybe they're a league thing and they play a league match. Let's call it once a week. Maybe it's Saturday afternoon, right?
Right.
Or it's Tuesday night, whatever it is, but it's once a week at the most. And what happens is then from Saturday to the next Saturday, there's lesson, there's this drilling, and there's this, whatever it is. But there's no real practice sets in there that actually count for something. And the counting for something is make it public, as I spit on myself. Make it public. I'm getting a little fired up about this. And making it public could simply be, hey, Jeff, let's play Thursday. Let's play 3 sets. And even if you kick my butt the first 2 sets, let's play a third. And let's post the result on the blackboard at the club.
Or maybe instead of getting on a back court, play on one of the front courts at your club.
Oh, God. Maybe. Yeah.
Just saying, because if you go play a tournament, you go play the sectionals, even if it's league play, you go play the sectionals, in Northern California, you're going to be in Sacramento at a couple of big clubs up there that have 20 plus courts and everything. But there's always front courts. There's front courts all the time during the walkways and everything. There's the courts that are right off the walkways that have the low fences and are viewing courts. So maybe at your club, you may not have 20 courts. Maybe you got 7 courts. Maybe you got 9 courts, whatever. Maybe another way. It's a great way to put another layer of pressure that instead of avoiding it, let's play there and let's get used to that. Let's get used to people walking by and just randomly interrupting you, because that happens. There's a certain familiarity in that at the club, right? You're friends with everybody and blah, blah, blah. Hey, Bob, how you doing tonight? Right before you're about to serve at 5-4, 40-30. Oh, and it's happening because you're playing on that front court, and you should do that.
Yeah.
Because that's where the rubber meets the road.
Well, look, I mean,
that can't be your story. That can't be your story for that match. Oh, I was in charge of everything until Ralph said hi to me. Really? So it's that fragile, right?
Well,
that's reality check.
That's right. Well, look, what you said is you used the word a minute ago, pressure, and really what happens when we play practice sets. I think too often, the connotation around practice sets is, well, it doesn't matter. And like there are definitely some times when I go out and I'll play some practice points because I want to work on something, right? So Owen and I go out and we'll play some points, but that's not really a practice set where we've agreed, hey, whatever the score is, we're going to go ahead and post it today. That's something where we're playing points, but I'm working on something. That's different. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't shove that into your weekly schedule. What I am saying is that you got to create pressure by playing practice sets that actually count for something. They mean something, and publishing the results publicly is where that added pressure is. And the more pressure you create throughout the week or throughout in between those league matches or those tournament matches, that's when you start to desensitize yourself to match play pressure. And now you start to reduce your skill level range, because if you're rarely putting yourself out there, and in fact, if the only time you're putting yourself out there are matches that are, literally a league or a tournament, that's when,
right.
Excuse me, it's the old choking response, which look, there's no total guarantee of how to get rid of the choking response, but you can really minimize it
Right.
by playing a crap ton of practice sets or
Yeah.
practice matches. And so that's
And yeah, without a doubt. And in those practice matches, in those practice sets, what's your task that day? You've got to have some sort of we talk about framework. You got to have some sort of framework that I'm going to try to work on in this practice set. What am I focused on today? Is it I'm going to make sure I recover after every stroke. I'm going to make sure I at every time I get to 40 on my serve, I'm going to take a little bit off my first serve and see how many first serves I can hit in from 40, 15, 40, 30 or deuce. Whatever it might be, you got to have some sort of task to move the meter. Otherwise, are you just playing your opponent and doing what you do just to beat him? Because that doesn't help you when you're playing in the sectionals and you're not playing that type of player.
Well, look, I mean, I think that's a problem too, is that we get sort of in our comfy confines on court 3 at the Berkeley Tennis Club and playing against some dude that I play every Friday. Look,
right.
If you really want to reduce skill level range, once a week, invite yourself to some other guy's place and
right.
and get out of your comfy confines and go somewhere else and ideally play someone that you play rarely, right? I mean, maybe
Right.
once a month, or maybe you play this guy once every 2 months. But we're not talking about the need to have a big stable of opponents, practice match
Yeah.
opponents. We're talking about, look, you got to be able to find 5 or 6 guys or gals who are at different locales in your, whether it's, it's a 20-minute, 30-minute drive away. That's the way to start to create pressure during the week so that when you get to the real deal, when you get to the league match, the tournament, it's like, I think it was like John Wooden, right? Didn't Wooden, I mean, practices for these guys at UCLA were just brutal.
Right.
And they would go, thank God it's a game. Thank God it's a game. Oh my God. Because then it was like a vacation to be able to go play, USC or something
Right.
like this in a huge game. Because so
Right. And that's the deal, is that the matches is when you should be expressing your natural athletic tendencies. You should be expressing the way you naturally think athletically on a tennis court, how you perceive the game. And the things you're working on, assuming that you've got a coach and a pro that actually understands you as a player, that's yesterday's episode, then you should be focused on creating something. There should be something going on in that practice set that you are trying to achieve, not winning. So even when I train and get ready for tournaments, the latter part, the last couple of weeks right before the event, I practice competing, keeping my mind focused on the job at hand, and then I let the win kind of come or go, whatever. But I know that those sets traditionally are very tight sets when I'm playing guys younger than me that are top in their age group, and that I want that extra level of pace that they're hitting, consistency that they can do. They can hit the serve a little bigger than the guys in my age group, and blah blah blah. And I do that intentionally. But inevitably, though, I end up normally kind of splitting sets with the guys, and I'm perfectly comfortable with that. Mixed in with guys that I know that I beat regularly, because that allows me to work on certain things. Guys that I'm going to, in my own age group too, that I practice with. So it's a complete, let's say, stable of guys. 25% of the guys maybe that I know I'm consistently going to beat, and that allows me to work on certain things. 50% of the guys are the guys my own level in my age group that allow me to practice again, competing, construction of points, and blah blah blah. And then guys who I know, I may not win sets against them, but I'm gonna be flirting with it at least. The guys who are better than me. So it's not either, let me throw this out there. It's not either always playing guys that are better than you. The problem with that, and this happens more so in the juniors than it does in senior tennis, the problem with that always playing up is that you have no expectation of winning. So there's no pressure for you to actually win, even in practice sets. And then when you go play a match against your peers, all of a sudden you're overwhelmed with pressure because now this is the reality. This is where the rubber meets the road. And you see this happen in juniors all the time where parents push their juniors and they're always playing up, 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 up. And then they just completely collapse against their own level because now there's an expectation that they're supposed to win, and they haven't had that, where they're actually competing on the same playing field as their opponents. And that's, again, where the rubber meets the road. So playing your practice sets, there's a lot of layers to it that you need to explore, and it can be the potential for the benefit is huge.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned about playing someone that you would normally beat, and that you get an opportunity to work on stuff. I try to look at that a little bit differently. So if I'm playing a guy who I normally beat in practice, what I have to do is I have to be super vigilant about not getting sloppy, not developing any kind of, well, if I just throw this thing right up the middle, eventually he's going to, he's going to miss it.
And that's what I mean by that. I mean, when I say, it gives me a chance to work on things, it is a focused session of a practice set, being, doing journeyman things that moves the meter, that I'm going to need to prep for the guys that, are actually going to.
And I try to feel like a lot of it for me too in practice sets is, what am I doing? Am I managing that time, that 20, 25 seconds between points? Because that's where practice sets for me can get away from me. I can be distracted. Ralph comes up, "Hey, Brent, what's going on?" And, I can engage. And in a tournament or a league match, I don't want to do that, right? So I want to practice. For me, it's more, what do I do between points in the practice things? And if I can discipline myself to my 4-part between points routine, if I can discipline myself to do that in practice matches, wow. I mean, then, then I get in the league thing or the tournament thing, and it just feels so comfortable. Because I know when I do that, I know when I manage the 80% of the match, that the other 20
is not playing tennis.
No, the other 20% is the actual points. And I know when I manage the 80% not playing, that I just set myself up really well. Mm-hmm. It's not a guarantee, but I set myself up as best as I possibly can against the guys who I normally beat in practice, against someone who's right at I don't know if I'm going to win or lose today, or someone who's going to kick my ass today. I still have to be really focused on what do I do between points, and to make sure that part doesn't get away from me. And I guess that's what I mean by not getting sloppy against any of those guys. So, guys, that's probably the best way. I think that's the quickest way to reduce skill level range on a permanent basis, to where you build confidence that every day when you go out there that you're in control of. Everyone says, "Well, geez, I'm not in control with." Fine, in matches, you're not in control of a lot of stuff, but you are in control of some things. And for me, it's what I do between points. Jeff, I think in your case, it's kind of what you focus on. Well, today I want to work on this thing or that thing.
Right.
And if you want to reduce skill level range and build confidence in your game, start to play 3 sets every week. Every week, no matter what. Don't go, well, after 2 sets, we're done. No, play a third, man. Play a third. And you play a third, well, that starts to take care of that pillar about the physical thing. You start playing more, getting a little bit better shape, right? So anyway, that's all I got today. You got anything else? You good?
No, I think that's good. I think that's,
Okay. All right. Guys, free private 10, 12, 15-minute coaching call. You, me, and Jeff. Wow, what a combo right there. I only see it as something positive, something super positive. Let's discover the one thing in your game right now, whether it's technique, whether it's tactics, whether it's mental, physical experiences, or maybe maybe the sixth thing. Wait, not sure. Video. Anyway, actually, I talked to Major Dan yesterday.
And, Major Dan. Shout out to Major Dan.
Yeah. And by the way, he was just so complimentary. He just says that we're really helping him. He just loves to dive into every daily episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast, and man, it's great. It's one of those things that when you hear that one, and we hear it often enough that let's just keep going. Let's just keep rolling. But anyway, so I'm not sure how I got into Major Dan. Anyway,
you said you talked to him yesterday.
Yeah. But anyway, so look, guys. Private coaching call. goldballhunting.com. Just go on over there. Put in your first name, email address, click the button. Access to our online calendar scheduler. If you're already on our email list, wow, smarty pants, way to go. Anywhere in that email, there's a link. Click it, and it'll take you to a calendar scheduler. Let's set up a free private call, and let's see if we can't help you kind of discover that one thing in your game that if you were to really go after it for the next 30 days, wow, could be the result that you're looking for. Singles or doubles. Jeff, what do we want the fine folks to do right now?
Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below. iTunes and Stitcher, rate and review. Goldballhunting.com.
Boom.
Spread the word.
There it is. Get out there today. Help someone else have a great day. Jeff, tomorrow, let's do this.
I can't wait.